My name is Lane Smith.
I'm Hannah Anaya.
I'm Andrew Nielsen.
I'm Bailey Beckner.
I'm Davin Westbrook.
And I'm Cheyenne McDonald of filmmaking. So what is the peer-to-peer help group?
We're really just a group that's here to offer our support to anyone who needs it for any reason that they'll need it. Could be abuse, suicide, like suicidal thoughts. They could just not be having a good day. We're here to offer our support for them, whoever and whenever, whatever.
Okay. What does your program do for the school or for the community?
So we do a lot of different actual events. We've done a bunch of donations like to the shelters and to, for example, the animal shelter and some of the other shelters around. We helped out the Navajo Nation quite a bit with some of our donations to that. And then for like our school, we have this program that's like a stress-free Christmas tree. We put it up every year, and it basically has a bunch of little fidget toys that are supposed to help you de-stress, because that's usually when testing is coming along and before the end of the semester.
What does it mean to be a peer helper for you?
It's just being in the community and helping people in need.
I think being a peer helper really just means like you spread awareness to others around you, just to make them feel like they're not alone in whatever they're going through.
How are you guys like selected for the program? Is it like volunteered or?
So most of our elections actually go through a program that we start at the beginning of school, the survey that you guys take in your PAS class. So that is usually how we get elected, and sometimes certain teachers will notice certain students have a better knack for it and they'll suggest them, or people that are in the peer-to-peer program will suggest other students if they notice behavior that they feel would be good for the program and to help support it.
What are some struggles that you guys see students experiencing this year?
A lot of students get really stressed out with whether it's testing or things going on at home that they can't just leave behind. So
Peer pressure trying to force them into either drugs or doing something that they're not supposed to,
like ditching.
like ditching. That's a great example.
And I think on the opposite scale of that is kind of like achieving for perfection, like in school. I've seen a lot of people, like especially my junior year, I've seen a lot of people struggling for like tests and SATs and not really knowing what to do with their future. And I think that's adding a lot of stress to our student population.
What kind of activities have you guys done for the school or community this previous year? Like we just talked about.
Yeah, so like earlier I mentioned a bunch of the different activities that we do. We like to help out as much as we can, which of course there's only so much that a group can do. But we try to be there for every single one of the students that are there. We all have our different friend groups and even people outside of our friend groups that we sit there and we try to help regardless.
At the moment, we're spreading awareness about sexual assault and consent. We're talking about Denim Day, where I can't remember what day, the 26th of April, last Wednesday of April. You wear a type of denim just to show your combat against sexual assault and just educate them on sexual violence. It's like kind of saying it's not what I was wearing, like it's not my fault, kind of thing.
So are you guys like planning like another thing that's going on in the community?
This year, I don't think so. But other than Denim Day, we're probably all going to wear some type of denim or a teal color because that was one of the supportive colors of that. And it's just to show people that are in our school that may have went through that we're against it and we're trying to support them through their issues of past or currently present.
I understand that you guys attended a retreat for training. What does that include?
It includes suicide awareness, which is what we did, and the prevention. We worked on suicide awareness and of prevention at the retreat, and we also learned communicating skills to help us further ourselves with the prevention of suicide. And then we learned about self care and how to help ourselves by talking to our other peers at the peer to peer helpers. And then we also did the team building skills.
So an example of our team building skills that we did was a trust exercise that we did of holding each other's hands and kind of leaning back, trusting each other to hold us up to make sure that we don't fall. Another one is everybody has like their comfort bubble, and we really used that exercise where we had a bunch of people in a room. So we had our peers to peers, and then we had some from the middle schools and some from other high schools that came. And we did this exercise by slowly getting gradually closer to each other. And we noticed how much of a paranoid feel that we felt before. And then after we started getting to know each other more, it was more comfortable in that space. So we got to learn that we can be comfortable with other people even if we don't know them that well.
What are some self-care things that you guys learned?
We learned coping mechanisms, like ways to handle your stress in helpful, not harmful ways. Because I know when people get stressed out or angry, they'll want to take it out either on themselves or other people, which is never good on either end. So, music was a big, like, self-coping skill. Just music for people can just calm your brain, calm your nerves, something used to help. Or a journal, maybe you write what you feel and then just take it out on that, burn it, like beat it up, do what you want to that instead of beating on yourself or other people.
What are like some like communicating skills?
Communicating is a hard one because everybody has a different way of communicating. Our main approaches to it is that we try to listen more than we talk, because it makes people feel not heard if we talk too much. But at the same time, you got to correlate. The communication skill things we did is just basically we talked and we were trying to listen for key words, and we were trying to process how much we got out of every sentence.
Because we want everything you say to us we want it to feel like it has meaning. Because, like, even just the little things that just seem little to you could be something way bigger in someone else's life. So we want to try to listen to everything someone's saying to us to make sure they feel like everything they care about is being cared about by someone else.
What message would you like to send out to the students/peers who are struggling with mental health?
That we are here for all of you regardless of what you're going through.
So do you guys have like a motto or something like you live by?
The sunrise, of course, doesn't care if we watch it or not. It'll keep on being beautiful even if no one bothers to look at it. The motto's by Gina Mole.
What does that mean to everyone that's here?
For us, it just makes it like there's always brightness in everything.
I think it kind of means like we can only control the controllables, and that we need to try our hardest to look and not care about what we can't control, but focus on what we can control and make it the best it could be.
What do you guys do when someone's not comfortable going up to you? Like, do you have any other ways that can talk to you guys?
So there's different apps and websites that you can actually go to actually talk to somebody if you don't feel like talking to somebody in person. This is where you don't have to give out information, you could just talk. So like the suicide hotline, that is a really good example. And other than that, if we're talking about in person, the best way is for you guys to come up to us, but a lot of the times we notice little things in behavior. So we will sometimes come up to you if we think that something might be bugging.
I think also the Say Something app is really important, and I know we all get talked about to this, but it's a really good resource to go to because it has like an anonymous kind of feel to it, so that you can express yourself without the feeling of being judged, even by peers, or even if you're talking to the adults in your life. Like, if you're not comfortable with that, I think the Say Something app would be a really good thing, like a good way to get started in your help.
What are like concerns in our school? Like,
Depression.
That is
We took a survey at the beginning of the year to see what kids struggled with the most. This year, over half of the students said they struggled with depression, drugs and alcohol, stress, achievements in school, bullying, and more. The top of our list this year was depression.
And we're still readjusting to everything, getting to be around people. Because if you think about it, online, you didn't really have to see anybody. No one could say something about your outfit that would hurt your feelings if you had your camera off.
And then some kids went into high school online. So they never really got what the experience was like, and coming to high school for the first time after quarantine was probably something crazy to adjust to. Yeah.
It was crazy.
The last thing they had was middle school, and then quarantine hit.
Shoot, yeah, it was a huge difference in change because I was one of the first classes that came back after that. It was my freshman year at the end of that year. And it was a huge change from being online where you're on your own and you're having to deal with everything at home versus being here. I'm just glad we're back to normal school because I feel like the coping mechanisms and the different actual resources we have at the school to help with your mental health, to help with all this different stuff, there's more here than it would be at home. Because, let's be honest, sometimes it's scary to talk to your parents about some of this stuff.
I think that's why peer-to-peer is so great, because it's kids talking to kids mostly, and reaching out to someone your age, someone that has some of your values in common, and you're kind of like growing up together in a way. And so and you spend most of your time at school, so I feel like talking to someone that you spend most of the day with, even if you're not that close to them, it feels better sometimes than talking to someone that, like a trusted adult, because we're all teenagers. Yeah.
So is there any other thing that we should know about the peer-to-peer?
Yes. We actually get most of our funding from the Department of Health, and they also provide numerous trainings for us. This helps support us and become better peer-to-peers in order to help serve our community as well as our schools and just be better in general.
Thank you.
You're just mad because your hair looks like blood.